Today, you're going to be doing a quick review on the Bullworker Iso Bow, one of the simplest yet potentially most versatile pieces of isometric training equipment you can buy on the market today. There's not a whole lot really to talk about it because it is literally just exactly what you're looking at right now. It's two nylon handles together with a box stitch, kind of an hourglass shape, and there is really nothing to adjust on this thing, and that's a good thing because there's no cam buckles, there's no excessive straps, there's nothing big and bulky, and you're going to spend time in your workout trying to adjust things 20 different ways, getting it just right. It literally is just two handles with an hourglass shape, very strong, very secure. The handles themselves I really like. I was afraid that they were going to be a little too small. I usually like a nice big beefy grip, but these are just big enough to be comfortable in pressing motions and of course very comfortable with pulling. The texture is very grippy but not abrasive against the skin. It's a kind of a bit of a soft yet firm rubber, and they also rotate very smoothly as well, which comes in handy for some of the self-resistance exercises you can do with this. One of the few adjustments you can do with this is with the handle position. So you can have them parallel like so, and you can easily twist them so you have a bit of a neutral grip, kind of almost a nunchuck style, which you can have for various grips. If you want hammer style grip, or if you wanted to switch things around, you might feel like you have a bit more control with one grip versus another. But for the most part, what you're actually doing is instead of adjusting the equipment you're using, you're adjusting your body, which is a quality that I've come to really appreciate in a lot of training styles and equipment, because the more we can rely on adjusting our own body, the more we gain from our exercise versus always using our body the same way and having to adjust the equipment. Super lightweight. You can imagine, of course, portability is very nice. You could just fit this into a pocket. Ideal for traveling, and not just traveling just for the sake of getting a bit of a hotel workout, but it's also a good mobility tool. So if I was, say, for example, taking a flight to Japan or something, I was like, I know I'm going to be tired, energy level is going to be low, and I'm going to be stiff after a long flight. This is just what the doctor ordered, so I can kind of wake up my muscles, I can get things moving around, big range of motion exercises, stretching out, and feel right as rain the next day. You can do almost anything with this thing. With that said though, I found that most of the exercises done with this are kind of isolated single joint stuff, curls, tricep extensions, shoulder press extension, and that sort of thing. So if you're looking for a way to really hammer home the big compound movements that you would usually use with like barbells and stuff like that, this is going to be a little bit more on the limited side of things. However, if you have nagging muscles that just don't seem to want to engage and wake up, this thing really works well. I've been using this particularly for my rear delts, just pulling apart in between sets of rows and pull-ups to make sure that my rear delts and upper traps are engaged during those exercises. Really good as a supplemental tool for bigger compound exercises, either calisthenics, free weights, and so on. So let's get down to brass tacks and score this thing out on the various qualities we're looking for. First of all, we have versatility. Basically, you're limited by your imagination, but you are also limited by having your hands, your feet, or whatnot roughly about a foot apart from each other. So some exercises may not quite correlate with this, but basically you can use it for almost any sort of major muscle group that you find in at least an isolated fashion. I give it a 7 out of 10. Portability, you're not going to get much more lightweight and portable than something you can just fit into your pocket. 10 out of 10. When it comes to adjustment, it's a limited adjustment, of course, because of the lack of cam buckles and stuff like that. However, it is super easy to make the adjustments that you are going to be using since you're just changing your body position. 7 out of 10. Setup is super simple. You literally just grab it and go. It's kind of almost a little weird the first time you use it. You just grab it and start pulling and pushing on it. It's as simple as you can get. 10 out of 10. For the construction, everything feels like it's quality. The stitching is on point. There's not any loose threads. It doesn't feel like this is going to just fall apart after a few uses. Definitely built for the long haul. 10 out of 10. Ergonomics, very comfortable piece of equipment to use. Doesn't really feel like it chafes anywhere. Very good, comfortable in the hands. Doesn't run and be rough against the skin at all. Give it a 9 out of 10. And finally, for value at $19.95, you get the Bullworker Iso Bow. You also get a spiral-bound laminated manual that comes with it, which I appreciate. They could have just printed up a sheet of paper or given you a couple links to some YouTube videos and stuff, but I appreciate that little manual touch because it's nice to have something to refer to and look at when you're trying to figure out the first few times using it. I give it an 8 out of 10. Overall, the ISO bow is ideal for traveler and anyone who wants to be using isometrics just on the fly. I could see even using these, kind of just stashing them in a book bag. You have like 15 minutes in between meetings or something. You got to loosen up a tight neck or something, do some stretching. This is just the sort of thing that we want to be using for little on-the-go, little mini micro workout sessions whenever life presents us the opportunities. Check it out down below. I put the link down below for the ISO bow webpage, as well as the entire Bullworker line. And if you have any thoughts or questions down below, I'll answer those as well. Thanks much for watching. Be fit, live free.